Hi, this is Vicki from Grandma B's Junk Journal. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to share a haul. My husband and I spent the day over at Lake Michigan at our favorite town that we love to visit, especially in the summertime. We went out to lunch at a fresh fish spot right across from the beach. It was wonderful. And then I talked him into going thrifting. There's 4 different thrift shops that we visited today, and I found something at each one. So I just wanted to share that. And the first thing I want to share is Better Home and Garden sewing book. Very excited about this. I love this time period. It was 1961 and then reprinted in 1970. The book is in super great shape. It is a ring book, a ring binder book, so I'll be able to open those rings and pull out these pages without any problems. I will be able to use these pages in journals and ephemera making, just all kinds of fun things. I love the images. I love this time period, so very lucky to find this. I think I paid $3. I typically do not pay that much, but this was actually a good find. If I would have found it at the antique mall that I go to when I'm traveling, it probably would have been 4 or 5 times that much. So $3, I will take it. Next thing is 50 cents for a box of envelopes and these little thank you sympathy type cards, which I can cover this up. And then this is the back of it. So I thought that is very pretty. I'll be able to use these as journal pages, ephemera pockets, put them in my kits, a whole box of them. So for 50 cents, that was a super good deal. I have been really getting a lot of cards. And when I see this kind of box, I know it's vintage. 50 cents for this. I've been getting a lot of these at auctions, and I love these roses. I do not have this set, so I was very excited to see this. I haven't found anything that shows the date, but this one is pretty old. I know that for sure. So anyways, I was very excited to find this, and for 50 cents, I will take it. Lots of pockets and different kind of ephemera will be made from this. And then this was 25 cents. This was a box of Hallmark stationery with envelopes. Very, very pretty. These will, I use a lot of these kind of things in my journals. And then this is a pack of envelopes and greeting cards. I like to put these right in the signatures and use them for pages. So there was 9 cards and envelopes for 50 cents. So that's a really good deal. It's okay if it has some kind of greeting on it because I can cover that up, and this will look great in a journal. I like to use these, and I've said that lots of different times. I like to use cards on the front, inside, front and back cover, and these make perfect spots for like 5x7 photos and then journaling about the photos. So I always try to pick up cards because they are great for journals. So I'll put these away. Then I was just lucky today. So Sunbeam Control Heat Fry Pan. So this, did I find a date? 1953 on this. And lots of different ways that these can be used. You can use the cover and create its own journal. This might go really well in the baking or cooking or recipe journals that I'm wanting to make. You could just slide this right into a pocket, use this to create its own journal. So I always like to pick up these type of books whenever I find them. And this was not very expensive at all. I mean, you can usually find these. Now, if you go to an antique mall, you're going to pay up for it, several dollars for sure. But if you can find it at a thrift shop, you can get it as, cheap as 49 cents sometimes. This was a 1978 little craft book. the Work Basket and Home and Arts magazine. I have a little collection of these, and I love these. I love the images in them. 1970s, that's when I grew up. That was, you know, in my early childhood years, and so I like flipping through these books, and it just, you know, it's just fun. And then you can use this. These are great for using those images and making ephemera, making clusters, making different collages. The same with this Learn to Knit. Did I find a date on this? 1968. So again, you could use the cover, and this is in super good shape. You know, I could actually just make a journal with this itself, or, you know, pull out these pages and put, and I do that a lot. I put these pages right into signatures. This one, I don't know if I found a date. I just liked the way, 1968. Yeah, so I liked the images in it. The big pages, they are heavier weight, so they are great in glue books or junk journals. The older books like this tend to have heavier paper, which goes really great with the glue books because they can handle, or like art books, because they can handle more of that, the different kind of media, the paints and glues and things like that. This one was a great find. I have a little collection on doily craft books, 1946. So this was a good find, and I typically pull these apart and then slide them into signatures. This is a bigger book, so I will, you know, probably won't cut this one up, and I will use this to put into my larger book signatures. And these are super fun to flip through. All right, this one, I know this one is in the 70s, I believe. So I don't know what I would use the kids for, the children, besides they're so cute and I love their clothes for sure. I don't really know for sure how I would use them in a journal, but even though they're adorable, I'm just not for sure how I would use them. But once we get through the, you know, the nice colored photos of them, the rest of the book was this color. And this is, you know, the 1970 orange, and so it's all patterns. It's a, you know, it's a sewing pattern, or maybe it's crochet. What is it? Is it crochet? Yeah, I think it's crochet. But anyways, these will be great to use in my big junk journals. Again, it's heavier paper because it's an older book. And so this can go either in glue books, art book, different kind of art books, or the junk journals. So, yeah, there's lots of good pages there. And the images of the kids are super cute. So I'm going to have to find something to do with those, just because they're cute. Okay. Then let's see, let me get this out of the way. Now I have been collecting these Better Homes and Garden books. This one is 1958, so it may be the oldest one that I have in my collection, but this, I love this, and so I'm actually going to use the cover for this for a journal when I get going on my series of cooking / baking, whatever I decide to do there. This is definitely a cover that I'm going to use. I love the time period, and the images are super cute, so I will be using a lot of those images. Now, it is not sewn, the pages are not sewn in, so unfortunately I'm going to have to pull them out, you know, and then I'll kind of hinge them back together. But that's okay, it'll work. But there's a lot of great colored pages in here, so this will be fun to work with, and I'll be able to use, there's a lot of pages, so I'll be able to use them in other books as well. A couple more cards. These aren't anything special. I have one customer, returning customer, that she loves anything Walt Disney, Mickey Mouse. So when I see cards, and these are larger cards, I don't know, 3 by 4, 5 maybe, I'm not for sure. But I will keep these, and then I will make like journaling cards and use them for pockets and slide them in kits. And I like just to have, when I have a customer that has an interest in something, and if I see it, I like to pick it up and just keep it in my stash, so that if that person comes back, I have some things in the stash that I know he or she likes. And then this little, I need another Christmas deck of cards. Like, I need more holes in my head, but you know, for a quarter or whatever it was, these will be great. I've got a ton of Christmas journals and projects I want to be making in August. Hopefully I'm going to end up doing that. Then I got this. This is a child craft book, and I do have a collection of these, but I don't have this one. I was kind of looking for specifically for covers today, because I want to make a group of kind of generic type junk journals. And so I was looking really for some special covers. I think this is one of them. And the inside pages I absolutely love. So although this is an education type book, I'm primarily using the covers. That's why I bought this. However, there are a lot of images and pages in here that I will use in all of my projects and journals. And, you know, I can cut the, you know, rip the text out for collaging. So anyways, that was a good find. I really, really love those pages there, though. The images are just beautiful. So needs a little cleanup, but that was a great find. Now, the rest of the haul, probably you're gonna think, oh, that's really nothing special. But I have been looking for these books. So these are Reader Digest books, and I know a lot of people use these for their journals, and I've not been able to find any. So at one of the places that I visited today, they had these. I was so excited, and I was mainly looking for these covers. The covers are beautiful, and I just want the covers to make journals with them. So now, you know, these are in thrift stores, you know, look at that. So it's falling apart. I will use these pages, and, you know, when I make collages, I like to use text as the bottom. Or if I'm making clusters, I love to use text. So I will, you know, I will use this, but, you know, I don't feel bad about taking these apart and just focusing on the covers, because, you know, look at that. It's falling apart. And they were bound for the dump anyways. So, you know, it'll get a new spine, but I love these. So I will, you know, collage something on the front to make it just beautiful. I'm so thrilled about this. Let's see. These are pretty old. Well, this one's 1978, but it's very discolored. And when you get them discolored this much, a lot of times they're very like brittle and they tear. But if they're strong, then they are great to use in clusters. And that is a beautiful page. I'll definitely be able to use that. So I will go through this, and I will pull out the colored images that I can use. I'll pull out what I want to keep for the text, and give these books another life. Let's see, what are these? 19, what is this? Looking for the copyright, 77. So this, all of these are probably 77, maybe, mid 70s. So, you know, it's old, but again, I was really focusing on the covers, and I got some really good colors, they're going to, I'm really excited, they're going to go really great in my journals. This one was just a solid purple, but with collaging, and it does have this little image here, but I will probably collage on top of this, maybe some fabric or something, but I know I haven't made like a purple book like that. So anyways, I am very excited about the haul. I think I came out of this day, I think I spent 20 bucks. So I'm very happy with everything that I got. And I thank you for coming along with me on this little haul. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And please remember to hit like and subscribe so you get notified every time I put out a video. Thanks. Bye-bye.